why do they schedule our games
it's
12 o'clock? It's ridiculous. At least
ridiculous.
wait till like later on in the day. What's the need to put it at 12 o'clock? Surely they can still put it on TV and play it at 4 o'clock or something like that.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke that they've given it to us, and they've also given Arsenal the latest game on the weekend as well. So they've got an extra day to prepare, and we really are. It's Thursday to Sunday, 12 o'clock is not good at all. We've got today to rest. Got tomorrow for a bit of training, and then Sunday's the game. And it's not even 4 o'clock on Sunday, you know what I mean? We have to wake up early. We have to get to the ground early, and we have to try and be as fresh. So look, those circumstances are not ideal, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we can't cry about it. We just have to get the job done. It is what it is. They're not going to change the time of the game. As much as it's infuriating, we have to be our sharpest, and that's why we have to win the game early, because I feel like the longer the game goes on, the more tired we get. It's going to be a lot harder for us late in the game to try and force the issue with the fact that we've played so soon after. So it's difficult, but hopefully, I'm just hoping the confidence and the energy and the adrenaline that we've got from that win will take us through this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we do go out and win the game against Burnley, how much pressure are Arsenal under going to Newcastle on Monday night?
Massive pressure. I think if we go into it 2 points ahead, knowing they have to win that game.
What about if we draw? Are they under pressure if we draw?
Well, not really, because they know just to draw and they're still ahead of us. So obviously if they lose, we go ahead of them if we draw, but I don't think that's a situation we want to run. Look, there is a chance they lose that game for sure. There's a chance because Newcastle are going to be up for it, and they're going to have a makeshift team out, or makeshift potentially anyway, makeshift defense. We don't really know the full situation on Gabriel. Maybe they just took him off as a precaution. We don't really know, but. If we win and they have to win, then the real pressure comes, I think. And we'll see what they're made of on Monday night. Because Newcastle, they got some very dangerous players. And even against us, I know we beat them 5-1. That was a very difficult first half we had to play against them. We were 1-0 down, and they were causing us problems, making it very difficult for us. And at home, they've been fantastic. They've won most of their games.
Not only that, but like it's at home, last home game of the season. Every player in that squad is playing for their futures at that club. The atmosphere is always great on last home games of the season, and Newcastle fans are very happy at the moment. So I expect it to be a bit of a cauldron for Arsenal walking into there. Obviously, it's not going to be as much as it was yesterday, but I think Newcastle fans will be up for it. They're desperately going to want to win their last home game of the season, you know, when they do their lap of honour and all that kind of stuff. And also Kieran Trippier has clearly said that he wants to do it for Spurs as well. So there's a few motivations going into that. But what you were saying before in terms of it's a different game than it was at Turf Moor. If you look at the head-to-head in the last 5 games, I mean, it kind of tells you everything you need to know, where last year at home we beat them 4-0, the year before we beat them 5-0, whereas at Turf Moor, we've lost 1-0, lost 1-1-0 and drawn 1-1.
Yeah.
So with Burnley having to get a result, that kind of plays into our hands, doesn't it?
I think so. I think in reality they probably want the win rather than the draw. So I do feel I don't know if they're going to come just for the draw, but it's going to be difficult. They're going to set up in their way, but I think the fact that it's on our ground is a bit of a bigger pitch. Also, we have the home advantage. We know they don't have a great record here. So I think that's why I'm less nervous than if it was at Turf Moor. If it was at Turf Moor, I would be a bit nervous going to this game because I know how difficult they are to play against, even under new management.
Yeah.
They're very, very difficult, and they're going to make it difficult for us in this game. But if we can make sure that if we can make sure that then they're not frustrating us for too long at the start of the game, then as soon as we get the opening goal, it becomes a lot more manageable, the game. And as long as we're not giving away too many stupid free kicks or set pieces, then you've got to say we've got a very good chance of winning this game.
Absolutely. And if you look at the form of the two teams coming into it, Burnley actually on good form, winning 3 out of their last 5 games since Sean Dyche did get the sack. A lot was made out of Sean Dyche getting sacked, and everyone was saying, oh, they're just kissing their Premier League hopes goodbye and stuff like that. But it's gone the other way, hasn't it? And it looks as though, right now, it looks as though Leeds are the ones that are going to go down.
Yeah, look, it's still very much all to play for, considering the league is very tight. Leeds currently only there on goal difference. So, in fact,
Isn't there 2 points in it?
No, it's goal difference. 2 points between Everton.
Oh, right.
Their Leeds are currently there on goal difference.
Burnley got a game in hand, right?
No. Yes. Burnley have a game. Burnley and Everton both have a game in hand on Leeds. Leeds only have 2 games left. Burnley and Everton have 3. So obviously Leeds not looking good for them right now. But if Burnley do lose and Leeds get a draw, Leeds are back out of it again, and Burnley are in the relegation zone. So in fact, it is. I think actually they probably will go for the win, because if Leeds win, then they're in the relegation zone.
When are Leeds playing?
They're playing after, obviously.
Oh, because there's no game on Saturday this week. They're all on Sunday. So we're the first game of the weekend, are we? Yeah, okay.
Leeds are playing, I believe, is it Brentford or Brighton this week? They're playing Brighton. So home to Brighton, that's going to be a very, very important game. They're kicking off at 2:00. So I think Burnley will know.
Every Premier League game on Sunday, apart from Arsenal.
Yeah. All on Sunday. And obviously there's a couple games missing because of the FA Cup final. Which they're playing in midweek. So I think Burnley are going to have to come and try and win. I don't, because if they do come and get a draw, then it's out of their hands again.
Do you think they go for that from the off, or do you reckon they play in their shape like they usually do, and then maybe try and keep it as 0-0 as long as possible, then maybe go for the win the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't think from the off they go for it. I think they try and frustrate us.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I think they try and get their set pieces, because they're not stupid. They're not going to try and play us at our own game, and then or not our own game. We'll try and leave space for us, and with the players we have, I can't see that happening at all. So I think they're going to try and frustrate us, and then get long balls into Weghorst, try and get flick on second balls, try and get Cornet involved. It's going to be they're going to try and make it difficult for us, but we've got to make sure that we make our quality count, and we know what the players we have. Yeah. We know that we screwed up last time we played Burnley in terms of how we approached the game. We have to make sure we put those things right, and if we do get it right, look, we have the better players, and there's no reason why this shouldn't be another 3 points for Tom. There's absolutely no excuses. As much as Burnley are fighting for everything, I respect that, and I respect that it's going to be difficult, but doesn't mean that we don't win this game.
Yeah, and absolutely. And with the way they do set up and with the game plan that they are going to bring, it seems like I'm saying this every week, but if we do get that early goal, it could be a hiding for them. It really could be.
Especially in these games against teams like Burnley. I think that's first of all, that coupled with how we play.
Yeah.
And how we like teams to come onto us and invite pressure onto us, and we exploit the space when we hit them very quickly on like a counter punch kind of thing. Yeah. I don't like to see it as a counter attack. It's more like a counter punch, because we actually do have possession. We actually like to play around with it a bit, and then as soon as they got drawn out, bam, we hit them. And so as soon as they start to press us a bit and they think they can nick the ball, that's where we go strong.
Absolutely.
So I don't like the phrase that as much as we do counter-attack as well, we're not just a counter-attacking team. No. We're actually quite good in possession when we need to be. But it does need the team to come at us a bit, though.
And it's like the goals that we've scored, the goal that we scored against Liverpool, the goals that we scored against Man City. Everyone talks about Spurs as a counter-attacking team, but most of those goals were all built from the back.
All built from the start and from the keeper, exactly. So I don't know how you can call it a counter-attack when we're playing it around the back and then we're just exploiting the high line.
It's because we're good in transition, and everyone's like, that's a counter-attack.
Yeah.
That's not
but that wasn't transition.
No, even that wasn't a transition, I know.
Yeah.
But even when we're building from the back, they say it's a counter. I just don't get the narrative around it all.
No, they just don't understand what they're saying, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
That's just reality. I think because even though, I tell you why, it's because even though it starts from the back, it still looks like a counter-attack. Because their line is so high, and we're just getting those players into the space, and because we're playing it so quick, it looks like a counter attack. But then you rewind it, it's like actually we started it from the back, and because usually you associate a team with possession like tiki taka, Pep Guardiola, in and around the penalty area, just trying to break the teams down in a quick combination in around the penalty area, then a goal. And you don't associate it with playing it around the back and then quickly getting into midfield and exploiting the space. That's not. It just looks to people's minds, it looks like a counter when it isn't.
Yeah, maybe you have a point there. In terms of the Burnley lineup coming into the game, This is their lineup from their game last week, where Lennon will be a nice welcome back for Lennon, obviously, if he does start. But I got a feeling probably Cornet might start there, with Cornet being quite one of their danger men in this season. Scored last week as well off the bench, I believe. Weghorst and who's that up front? Weghorst and I can't read it from here.
Barnes.
Ashley Barnes, that's it. Weghorst and Barnes. I mean, two very physical strikers. How do you think our defence without Romero can cope with those two?
I actually think, in a way, without Romero could help us. Not on the ball, obviously, in terms of us being dominant and have the quality to break him down. I think actually Romero is a big hindrance. But in terms of defensively, I think adding that physicality of Sanchez there, who's a bit better in the air than Romero, could help against someone like Weghorst. Making sure that we don't let him either win the ball or second balls or anything, or making sure it's difficult for him to win those headers. Obviously, Dyer and Sanchez is going to be more of their responsibility. If Weghorst is clever, he'll stick on Davis, but hopefully we can manage that situation. Obviously, he's been dangerous, but he's been off the boil as well. He's been a bit better since the change of manager. But and look, you've got to respect his time in Germany and how clinical finisher he can be when given the opportunity. But he has gone off the boil, and we have to make sure we're keeping him quiet. Don't give away any set pieces. Don't make sure we're not giving away too many corners, and we can keep him quiet.
Another danger man could be maybe Dwight McNeil, a very tricky customer at times, really good player in my opinion. How do we deal with him?
Yeah, I mean, look, whether he plays on the left or the right, I think both our wing-backs have had very good, solid defensive displays recently. And he's actually really one of the best wingers, I think, at tracking back and helping out his defences as well, because he has to do that a lot. So he can be very tricky. But the way our wing-backs have been able to keep better players quiet recently gives me a lot of hope that they should have no problem against someone like Dwight McNeil. As much as he's been good, he hasn't quite had the season he maybe had last season, Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
He's very good at crossing.
Burnley as well haven't had really the season that they had last season as a whole, to be honest.
Look, he's a dangerous player, but there's nothing I don't think there's anything we can't handle.
Yeah, agreed. Any other danger men for you from Burnley?
I just think the big
it's just
men
them as a unit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not a team of individuals. They're a team, and they're a physical team, and that's what makes them tough to play against. Brownhill and Cork, they're not individually, they're not amazing, but if you let them physically dominate you, they can definitely assert themselves on the game. Ashley Barnes can be a very physical and good finisher. Like they got decent qualities, but they're in the position for a reason. They're in the position they are for a reason, and we have to make sure that we prove we're the better team and the better players. And it doesn't matter how tired we are, and it doesn't matter how quick the last game was around the corner. All those things have to go out by the wayside. We have to make sure we make that quality count. If that means they force us to put in a goal from 25 yards because they're clogging up, we have to do that. If that means we need a bit of individual quality, we have to find it because we have it, and that's the crucial thing. I hate it when, like against Burnley, like we struggle to break teams down, so all of a sudden we're just restricted to lumping the ball in the box and hoping for the best. It's like, no, we can't be doing that. If Kane has to drop deep and get a shot off from 30 yards, do it, because he can do it.
Or if Son has to take it past their whole team again,
do it.
Be it.
Exactly, because he can do it.
Yeah.
I want to see them stepping up. I don't want to see excuses like Burnley defended well and they clogged it up and it made it difficult. Yeah, if they do that, then you find a way. Yeah. You find a way, 100%. Because there is no reason why, with the players we have, we can't find a way in this game. Absolutely
agree, 100%. Having said all that, what is your score prediction for the weekend?
I don't think they're going to score, Burnley. So it's about whether we can make it pay. So I don't think it's going to be a massive scoreline. So I will go for 2-0.
I was toying in my head between 2 and 3-0. I'm going to go for the more confident side. I'm going to stay 3-0. I think Kulusevski's going to get back on the score sheet this weekend. And I actually think, I'll just go for Kane and Son. Easy does it.
Do you think Romero being out, obviously Romero ruled out for the rest of the season, is he, for this specific game, is it a massive blow, or do you think shouldn't have a problem with Sanchez in there.
Yeah, I don't think we should have too much problem. I mean, Sanchez, I know he was a bit nervy last night for 5-10 minutes in the start, but I think he actually played fairly well last night. And for a Burnley and a Norwich side, we should have more than enough. We really should.
But do you think his physicality helps in this kind of game?
Who, Sanchez?
Yeah, he's a bit better in the air, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Sanchez is actually quite suited to play against the teams like Burnley that are big, strong, physical. He's also big, and he can be aerially dominant against these kind of teams.
Yeah, set pieces should really help out, because you got to remember when we lost to Burnley, it was Romero that lost the header, wasn't it? That's
very true.
And as much as that's obviously it's not like a Constantino Romero. You just we've got to make sure of that. But the only thing I'm worried about is when we're trying to break him down. Obviously, it's more likely when Romero, with the quality he has on the ball, when he comes forward into the final third, he's more likely to make something happen than Sanchez is. He
is. But I think that we should still have more than enough quality in other areas of the pitch to do that.
Definitely, but it's another big game for both teams.
And it'll be on Davis to maybe show more of that adventure going forward as well. Maybe like he was when Conte first came in.
I thought yesterday he showed quite a bit.
He did, but because Romero wasn't there yesterday. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when Romero wasn't in the team at the beginning in the Conte era, it was Davis the one showing that, and he was doing it really well. And then Romero coming, obviously he's miles better at doing it. So it is what it is.
You got to remember this game though. It's big, like in terms of stakes. Like the North London derby was massive stakes, but for Burnley, this is just as big.
Yeah.
Stakes are massive in this game. We need it for top four. They need it for relegation. So it is a massive game in the context of the league positions. So you can't take that for granted about how big of a occasion and how big of a how big this game is for both teams. This isn't just a nothing game for Burnley. So it is going to be a very tough game. We can't take it for granted, but we have the players, we have the team, and we're showing consistency a bit. We're showing quality, and we have to make it count.
Absolutely. All right, so that is our match preview. I'm going for 3-0 to Spurs. My brother is going 2-0 to Spurs. I want to know your score predictions in the comment section below.